Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside Natalie Poole. It's time to get outside, Coach, because softball is underway, and you're about to start the season this week down in Austin, Texas, but you've been underway for a few weeks now, and your second season as the head coach of the Memphis Tigers. And how has it been a little bit different this year maybe than last season getting ready to get started?
We definitely have a better sense of each other. It's made it easier when we've gone out there to work because the older girls, they have an understanding of what I want to accomplish, and so because of that, they're leading the younger girls a lot better, and so it makes everything work a little bit smoother. We've been able to have some outdoor practices, which has been great, get in some live hitting and work all of the strategy of the game.
You talk about that relationship between coach and players getting to know each other a little bit better. It's got to take probably a little bit of the weight off your shoulders because you can probably concentrate a little bit more on what happens on the field now.
Absolutely, and we've worked on training good leaders. We do a leadership manual through our off season with our upperclassmen, and we're already a year in with that, and now we're working with the juniors. And so our upper class is doing a great job of being able to pull in those younger girls, manage conflict, get to know them, and figure out how to reach them.
I guess this is a week, too, where everyone really starts to get excited because the season is coming up this weekend in Austin, and that kind of puts a little extra energy into your practices.
Absolutely. I think that, we've talked about it, and now here it is. And so I think they're anxious to travel. It's the first time around. We get a chance to see some live competition, and we really try to talk about coming out strong, and so I'm excited about it.
Give us an idea of the makeup of this year's edition of Tiger Softball. I know you've got 5 starters listed as returning, 12 letter winners coming back to this program. Kind of what's the makeup of this team?
We have a good mixture of some older kids with some good maturity as well as some young kids. I think with the young kids that come in, they just don't have any fears. They're not worried about opponents. They haven't struck out against a specific pitcher before. They don't really put things in that place in their mind, and so they're a little bit more fearless. They go out there just to play the game, and they're used to it. And some of these girls are girls they've played in travel ball, and so it's no different. For the older girls, some of them, they've let last year's failures or things that they've struggled with go, and they've really kind of approached this year in a new light, and all of them are better. So I think that their confidence is up, and they feel better about what they have to bring to the game this year.
Well, you're going to start off the season, as we mentioned this week, going down to Austin to play in Texas's tournament. It's going to begin a 4-week, you might as well just call it a gauntlet. This program's never shied away from playing very tough competition, non-conference, and you're going to face 3 teams that are going to be very good. North Texas, Texas A&M Corpus Christi, of course, the host team, the Longhorns. So talk about the makeup of this tournament, because I believe it's a round robin, and then you play some extra games. Do they seed those, or how does that work? We
do. We'll open up with North Texas, play them first, then we'll play Corpus Christi, and then finish with Texas. Then basically from there they see the tournament, 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3, and winners versus winners, and then losers versus losers. So it gives people an opportunity to stay in kind of a small setting, but be able to play 5 games, which is great. We need to put away those games early on for maturity purposes before we begin the conference play.
I think it's kind of a neat setup. If you don't maybe have the best part of the round robin portion of the tournament, you can kind of get some momentum back once you get into that bracketed portion.
Absolutely, and it kind of helps us work through issues. We see a lot of the same opponents more than one game, especially when it comes to conference play. And so to be able to answer back, make some adjustments, know what to expect from a team, it does matter. And all we have to go in is scouting reports from last year. So, we're making assumptions about what people are going to do 6 months later, and which is a bit difficult because a lot of people change in that time, just like we have. I think the scouting reports that people have against us from last year are not really going to matter.
You head down to LSU after that, and of course, being down in an SEC environment down in Baton Rouge, we know how good that program is. That'll be another tough one.
It will, and I'm very familiar with their coaches and their program, and they have a tough team, and they have some good pitching, but they graduated some pitching. Their hitting was, they had their worst hitting in the World Series that the World Series has ever seen, and so while they are ranked, I feel like we can go in and compete, and they'll have some other good teams there, which I'm excited to play, and also it's where I'm from. So we get to go have some Cajun food and be able to enjoy the South.
And if you get family and friends down there, you're going to have some fans in the stands.
Absolutely. Even my parents have season tickets to LSU because they still want to go out and support softball, so they go out there and watch all the time. So it'll be nice because I'll be front and center.
You're going to get back home, kind of your home away from home down at Southaven, February 22nd, the Blue City Classic, and hosting your own tournament. Not only on the field, but off the field, a lot of stuff goes into that.
Absolutely, and we're very happy to be able to host a good tournament here. We've had smaller tournaments here in the past, and when we opened it up this last year, we were able just to bring in quite a few teams. So I think we have 11 or 12 teams in our tournament. We're not going to play a ton of different teams, but we feel like we're playing at good times good teams and be able to be close to home. Wish we were playing on our field, but with that many teams, we have to do it in a place where we can host everyone and make it as fair as possible. So we are going to be happy to be in the area after traveling the first couple weeks, and we'll be looking forward to doing that.
The advantage of being at that facility in Southaven, it is a good facility to host this tournament, though.
It is, and it's where I believe they played when they first started the program, and so they've been easy to work with, and they seem excited about having us there.
To wrap up this, as we call it, the gauntlet of your 9 conference weekend to start off the season, it'll be a fun one, but it'll be a challenge. You're going to go out to Hawaii, and that's late in February. So that's a balanced trip. You want to enjoy being in Hawaii, but you also go out there trying to win ball games.
Absolutely. And I've gone out there and I've not done so well, and I've also been at that tournament and done pretty good. And so, our focus is we'll be 4 weeks in at that point, and so we ought to bring a better team than what I've brought there before. And I think that Hawaii is going to be tough, but in some of the other competition, Western Kentucky puts out a good program, and Campbell, I haven't really seen what they've done in the last few years, but no matter what we do, we want to win. We want to feel good at that point about what we're taking into conference the following weekend, and so I hope that we show some good things and then show the girls a great place to go and a good time, and we're looking for that balance.
Just briefly, what do you expect out of Conference USA this season?
I expect some of the ones that have been in the top to stay there. When we came in last year, one of the things that was a bit unnerving was that a lot of the girls that had done and accomplished a lot in the conference were young girls. So we knew that we were going to be seeing them for a few years. So we've got some girls that are getting to those upper years and some seniors coming out, and so we feel like it's going to be a tough year, but we also feel like we're a better team, and I definitely have confidence in what we can do in the conference. So I'm excited about it. I think Tulsa's going to be good. UAB has been pretty steady, and UCF has had some good young pitching, and so it'll be an interesting matchups this year, and an interesting conference. Conference time.
Be a long season, but it gets started this weekend. I know everybody's excited. Coach, best of luck down in Texas.
Thank you so much.
That is Natalie Poole, and I'm Jeff Brightwell. This is the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.